joined by Charleston head coach Robin Harmony and the back-to-back preseason player of the year from the CAA and last season's player of the year, Taryn Barbot. Cougars finished 25-8 last season and went 1-1 in the WNIT with a win over Howard. Barbot had a stellar year yet again, averaging 17.7 points and 7.2 rebounds per game. Coach, we'll start with you. Just right off the back of last season, what type of motivation does winning in the postseason give your squad heading into this year?
I think that being able to go to postseason gives you that experience to go in the conference tournament, to play those 3 games in a row. Because when you do the postseason, it's pretty much bam, bam, bam. You have a lot of games, and just really for the confidence for the kids to, be ready to see what it's like to play in the NCAA, WBIT, that kind of conference. Tournament. And, the ultimate goal is to go to the NCAA tournament. So to do that, you have to win games and you have to win the right ones and continue to win and, be good for sure the whole entire season. But that last weekend where somebody gets hot, you can't let them knock you off.
Sure. Open it up to questions. We'll start with Rob.
Hey, Taryn. Hey, Coach. Good to see you all.
Hey.
Hope you both had a great summer. I'll start with Taryn first. Just 2 questions for you, Taryn. One, what does it mean to you to be named preseason player of the year? And then two, what do you feel you've improved upon over the summer?
For the first question, I think it means a lot because I've been working to I guess get preseason player of the year again, and I feel like my work has shown last year to get it too. So yeah, that. And for the second question was what I've been working on. I've been working on being more consistent with my 3-point shot. I've been trying to work on some more mid-range shots to add that more to my game and just finishing around the hoop.
And thanks for that. And Coach, what do you like about your team this year? Obviously, I'm looking at your roster, and I see a lot of familiar names from last year. I also see some different names. So the teams will look slightly different, but from a style of play, can we expect to say Charleston chaos, so to speak?
Absolutely. We're going to continue with our pressing the whole entire game, pushing the ball offensively, trying to score transition layups, quarter court, working on scoring that. But, Taryn's being modest. She really has worked on her game. She's automatic. She takes a shot and it's just money. And her mid-range game before, she would drive, pull up, have a shot, but then she would tuck under and then have to really work to get that. So it's something that she has worked on. But our team, we recruit the same style players no matter what. So we don't have to come into the program and say, oh, we got to change everything. We don't have the players to press. We don't have the players to do this offense. So, our kids have stepped up. We're going to get Jamie Hill back, who was a left-handed 3-point shooter. Marissa Brown has been playing really well for us. Niley Cortez, they're, all 5'11", strong. They worked in the weight room in the summer. Ever since March was over, our kids got stronger. They're, we're not a small team anymore. We don't have really too many small guards. We're big, we're long, we're athletic. We can cover a lot of ground. I think that our full court defense is better than last year's. Our quarter court defense is still a little suspect, but it's only been 7 days of practice, so we have a really good male practice team that we play against every single day, and they are the repeaters that were here last year. They're like, oh, you guys have gotten better. That's the point, that we need to get better. We need to continue to grow. And those kind of guys playing against them every single day, that does help you. But I think that we're deeper this year. I just think that, we just have a really tough non-conference schedule that, is playing. Most of the teams that we're playing have been to the NCAA tournament last year. So not sure what that's going to look like, but it'll prepare us for conference play. And as long as our kids come in, they work, they're getting better, we stay healthy, we should be, pretty much the same team we were last year, but a little bit deeper.
We'll head over to Scott, followed by Griffin.
Hey, Robin, hope you're doing well. When you have a player like Taryn in this day and age of the transfer portal, how nerve-wracking is it that you're going to keep her year over year? I mean, how hard is it to keep players at the mid-major level year after year? And I guess how lucky are you guys that you are able to get a back-to-back preseason player of the year?
Yeah, very fortunate. Loyalty. She's loyal. Her family's loyal. They never went in the transfer portal, but people were trying to ring them and offer them a lot of money. And they just said, no, we're not doing that. That's not who we are. So it's to have a POY as a sophomore is big, and then not to get scooped up by a power four is nearly impossible this day and age. So she will help us continue to do what we need to do, win a championship, go to the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, kind of building off of that, Taryn, what is it about Charleston, if it is the coaching staff, the location, just the program in general, that wanted you to stay here when those other opportunities are certainly out there, but you were just focused on building something with the Cougs?
Yeah, I definitely wanted to. My freshman year, I definitely had a goal of like coming in here and make an impact, like a good impact on the program and everything. And yeah, the coaches are nice. The area is pretty nice too, like good scenery stuff around. So yeah.
Coach, I want to ask a question for you about Taryn. She went Rookie of the Year, then Preseason Player of the Year, Preseason Player of the Year again. She just seems like she keeps upping the accolades every year and setting program marks. What do you think about it? What do you think it is in her that she's able to keep replicating that success while also getting better and better every year?
I think that she loves the game. That's that's really the reason why. She loves basketball. She's always happy. She's happy-go-lucky. She's a hard worker. She's competitive. And, if she does, she doesn't really take a break. If she does something she knows she's not supposed to do, she knows the game of basketball. You can just tell her, hey, POIs, don't do that. I got you, coach. And she doesn't do it again. So she just lifts everybody else's level to where she is. And she just keeps on growing because she is always in the gym. And, it's like it reminds you of years ago where kids just played to play. That's Taryn.
Looks like we have time for one or two more, so we'll go Scott and then Griffin to close us out.
Robin, kind of an off-base question, but just in the state of South Carolina, how much has women's basketball, starting at the high school level, moving up to the college level, just raised the bar in the state with how good the Lady Gamecocks have been year in, year out under Dawn? Like, has that raised the game just in the state of South Carolina?
Yeah, I think so. I think that, with South Carolina doing so well with the WNBA national exposure, that's what we watch now on TV at night. Before we couldn't watch it unless you had a special channel. And you see those gyms packed. So that does help South Carolina. That helps the whole state of women's basketball nationally as far as college, because all these kids that are playing, the Terrans of the world, they want to go to the W and play. And to be able to see it and watch it and learn that just makes all the difference, that we are getting fan support that we wouldn't normally get without everybody being successful.
And coach, for me, you mentioned your non-conference schedule and how there are a lot of big time programs there. Just wanted to know a little bit about maybe the coach's kind of thought process in building that non-conference schedule to help get you ready for CAA play.
Well, sometimes it's done on purpose and sometimes not. When you keep calling teams that are North Carolina, South Carolina, in a area of Virginia that you want to play, but they don't want to play you because, they usually say, no, we're not playing you. You're too damn good. We don't want to be pressed for 40 minutes. Like, we're not that good. And, to get better, you have to play us. So for us to get better, we have to play somebody that's even above us. So we just gave in. You have to play in some tournaments. We're going to go to Puerto Rico to play. We're going to go to the New Orleans Big Easy tournament to play, to get some of these teams that we normally wouldn't see. And then you play the Florida State and the Colorado, where I think maybe you might lose your mind for a second when you say yes. And then when you see it on print, in November, you're like, what? But, that's just the facts. You just got to play somebody better than you to get better. And, you like it to be a little bit of a mix. And, it is a gamble, but our kids know our schedule. They know what's at stake. They know the big picture is conference play. And, we're not going to look at our record and say, oh, we're terrible. No, we're going to look at that and say, we'll see what happens. You just got to go and compete every single day, play for 40 minutes, and, good things can happen, especially if you have great players, that they kind of just take it over and, you surprise somebody. But, the ultimate goal for this non-conference schedule is to obviously find teams to play and, play teams that are better than you so you can be ready to come and do something in CAA and not, have an easy schedule, feel good about yourself, and then you I don't want to play anybody in our conference because everybody in this conference can beat you in any single day. And if you take somebody lightly, you get a lesson. So same thing's going to happen here in this non-conference schedule, that we can't take anybody for granted. We have to go and play, tough basketball. Even if it doesn't give us the win that we wanted, we'll get that learning experience. We learn from film. We learn from really doing it. And then we don't continue to repeat those same mistakes. And that's kind of how we're going to grow as a team to get to that next level. And then that way, if we ever are fortunate enough to go to the NCAA tournament, it's not going to be a shocker playing a top 20 team because we've already played them in our non-conference schedule.
Well, Coach Taryn, thank you guys so much for your time. The Cougars open up play on November 3rd against Covenant College. Look in the rest of the season, guys.
Thanks. Appreciate
Thank
you.
you.
Have a good one.